Good morning, good afternoon, good Shabbos, everybody. Parshas Emor, and those Kohanim, pretty exciting. Those not Kohanim, still a pretty good parsha. It's also Pesach Sheni, so my good friend Dov Reichman's birthday is today. Of course, no one can ever forget it because he doesn't let anyone forget it. He reminds everybody pretty much the whole year. But the interesting thing is actually it's always new things to learn about Pesach Sheni, which is very strange in itself. There's so much to learn about Pesach Sheni, and it's not even quote unquote, given at Har Sinai. It's a real mitzvah, but so it's very strange. And there's your kesher to Emor. This week's parsha. So besides the Kohanim, we also talk about the Moadim, Mikra Kodesh. But it's interesting because Mikra Kodesh sounds like the word Mikra is to call out. Sounds like Mikra is like happenstance. So is the Moadim happenstance? Is it something set? Is it something fixed? Is it from Hashem? Is it from us? So a lot of these issues, the Pri Tzaddik kind of talks about this with Shabbos, that Shabbos comes about through Hashem, seventh day, but we make the Shabbos. Lasos Shabbos. There are some we have to make the Shabbos, even though the Shabbos is from Hashem. And the Moadim, similar, even more that the Bnei Yisrael have the effect on Moed. We are the ones who make Rosh Chodesh, we Mekadosh the Chodesh. So it's the Jewish people that really set the Moadim. But on the other hand, the Medrash says that the Moadim, those days are set up by Hashem. Hashem was waiting for the night of Leish Shemurim Hashem. Pesach was set up. Hashem was waiting for that night, special night. Same thing with Kriyas Yamsuf, seventh day of Pesach. This was a night that was set aside, great things to happen. So this is this dichotomy of whether a Moed is from Hashem, Kaddish from Hashem, or Kaddish from us. But it's probably an answer. It's probably both. At some level, it's special. There's a inyan that it's Kodesh. Hashem made it a Moed. But we make it holy as well. Something took place. There's Nisan that happened on the Chag that it's special for us. And there's two issues why we say Hallel. So that's kind of one side of the coin. When it comes to Pesach Sheni, it's kind of in that area. What is Pesach Sheni? Pesach Sheni is really all the Chagim, all the Moadim. This is, 98% from the Jewish people, maybe 2% from Hashem. Because this is maybe the only mitzvah, Doraisa, that's not in the Torah, that's not from Har Sinai. About a year after, Jews are supposed to keep Pesach again in the Midbar. And some people can't do it. We're holding the bones of Yosef or Mishal El Safon. We're holding Nadav and Avihu. They were Tamei. This took place literally. The story is Nisan, so they were Tamei. They then take 7 days to be Tahar, and they were told right before Pesach these people couldn't do it. So most people, okay, you can't do a mitzvah. You want to help out. Someone is collecting tzedakah in shul or something, and the time they get to you, they don't need the money anymore. Okay. You don't feel so bad. Okay, good. You have the mitzvah. You have your money. Shalom Yisrael. Sometimes we do a mitzvah. We feel bad. We didn't participate. And sometimes we're happy. I have to go schlep. Like someone needs a minyan, a shiva minyan. I'm not in the mood. Oh, you have 10? Oh, thank God. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll come next time. But these people were generally upset. Up to the point where when they found out they couldn't do the Pesach because they were Tamei, they go to Moshe and they said, Lama Nigora. Why are we being penalized? Why are we less? So what's the point? What was the problem? Why are they so upset about this than other mitzvos? And Pesach and Korban Pesach is a special mitzvah because everyone has to be part of this. There's no, I'm not in the mood, I can't do it. If you have a bris milah and you're close to Yerushalayim, you are really supposed to do Korban Pesach. There's your Chayv Kares if you don't do Korban Pesach. So Korban Pesach is a big deal. Everyone has to be part of this. And even more than that, you have to be part of the group because you're not supposed to leave anything over. So if you have a 30-pound sheep and there's a couple pounds of bones, but there's 20 pounds of meat, 2 people can't finish this. 15 people can't finish all that meat. You have to get the neighbors. You have to get your family. So Korban Pesach is the quintessential Chag where you need a lot of people. And all of a sudden, 600,000 Jews are keeping this Korban Pesach, doing Korban Pesach, and you have 10, 6, 8, whatever amount of Jews that couldn't do it, and they're upset. They're visibly upset. Because they think back to the year before they're in Mitzrayim, where all the Jews were together in their homes, getting ready to leave Mitzrayim. So they knew how special Korban Pesach was, this sense of Achdus. And now you have some Jews that were not part of this, and this bothered them. And Moshe's reply is, Imda v'eshma'a. Imdu, Pri Tzaddik says, is a lesson of praying, daven. And Hashem answers them, and the answer is there's a second chance of this. Whether you were Tamei B'Shogeg or you were far away, B'Choka, B'Mezid. Even if you deliberately went far away from Yerushalayim, you know what, I don't want to do that this year. I'm not in the mood for this. Let me go travel up north. Let me go to Tveria. Let me travel to Greece or something. Even if you did that B'Mezid, you are still have a chance to do tshuva and bring Korban Pesach Sheni. So it's a pretty big deal. And I think what this ties in as a contrast to the Moadim is they created a moed. What do you mean create a moed? Moed meaning a time, a special time to connect to Hashem. Tisha B'Av is called a moed in the Navi. Why? Because you cry. And some people that don't really have a relationship with Hashem, whether good or bad things happen, that's sad. But to cry when bad things happen shows you have a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's a moed, that's a special time. So the people, instead of just mailing it in, we can't do Korban Pesach, big deal. We'll do it next year, not that important, it's just a Korban, we'll do another Korban another time, we'll survive. Because they felt so bad, it created a moed, a real chag, where there's a relationship to Hashem. And that's something that we have to really think about. Some people think of some special days of the year. They were saved by a car, they get cured by cancer, heart surgery. That's a special day for you. It's just August 15th. No. That's the day Hashem saved me from this, from that. So this relationship that you have with Hashem, that you recognize the godless of Hashem, that is a moed. And I think that's kind of really another aspect of Pesach Sheni that I haven't heard of, but I think that's a piece of it. So it's not just a chag of second chances, which it is, but it's also a chag where a chag was created. And a moed means not just happenstance, it's just the 14th of Iyar, or Hanukkah just happens to be the 25th of Kislev, or Pesach is the 15th of Nisan. This is literally a special day where it's a moed because we talk to Hashem, and these people that were so upset, they davened to Hashem, and Hashem granted them a moed, and all forever, we're going to always have Pesach Sheni, a day that no tachnan, yay, no tachnan, but also a day to remember Hashem, that even whatever happens to you, your car breaks down, well, it could have been worse. There's a story my nephew sent of Miles Biederman, where this guy had envelope of $40,000 in the car and 2 MP3 players. And he leaves it in the car. And he comes back after an hour or two. He's in some area in New York. The window's smashed. He's freaking, oh my gosh, there goes my money. And the envelope was still there, but the MP3 players were stolen. And Malach Biederman said this fellow said to him, he was so happy that day. You think about what's so happy? His car window was smashed. It's $100 right there. 2 MP3 players, another $50. Why is he happy? Well, you're right. You shouldn't be happy. The fact, though, is the $40,000 was still in the car, so it made losing the MP3 players in the car window a moed, a good day. That's kind of how we have to look at it. So even though these people couldn't do Pesach in the right time, but because they wanted to have a relationship with Hashem, Hashem gave them the day to bring another korban and to have a Pesach Sheni. And that's how we should kind of look at what happens with us. Whether good days or bad days, hopefully only small things happen, and we still have all these great things to think about Hashem, and that's kind of what we want from Pesach Sheni, is to think about the great things Hashem does for us, and that to think about anytime you call out to Hashem and have a relationship with Hashem, that's a special day, that's a moed. Shabbos